Going on, everybody? If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know because I had to switch mics today. But we are here live in the place to be. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and I am live. I'm going to shoot my camera on in a second. I just have to untangle my mic over there. But how you guys doing today? Let's get it going today. What a subject today, huh? I had to switch it up, because sometimes we go to the deep waters. We got to bring it back to another side of the river. So let's talk about men are not dealing with women if they're not dipped in. Ooh. Let's talk about it today. So let's talk about it today. I'm going to get my cam on in a second. But if you can hear me loud and clear, let me know in the chat room because I just had to switch a mic right quick. And it's a little further away, but it should be just as effective as the other one, my lavalier. So this is Lawrence D. Adams. Let's get it going. What's going on, everybody? Let me drop this right here. A little brighter today. Lawrence D. Adams. So what's going on, everyone? And I'm loud and clear. Loud and clear. That's what I want to hear because I had to switch mics right quick. I don't have my normal mic on. What's going on, my good people? Everyone in the chat room. Thank you. What's going on? How are you guys doing? This is Lawrence D. Adams. Good. What's going on? Let's talk about it. If you missed yesterday, we went deep yesterday. So definitely you want to you definitely want to listen to what we said yesterday because it was on point. So now that I know everybody can hear me clearly, I can take that earbud off. But let's talk about it today. Men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in this. We sort of talked about it yesterday, but I don't think everybody was ready for what we talked about. So anytime what I'm about to share now, so I think I'm gonna take my glass. I need to take my glass off for this one. Let me get my other glass. I got to put my doctor glasses on for this one. So anytime we talk about men, the women get stirred up. So I'm going to put on my other glasses. Let's see what we got here. So when we talk about men not dealing with, what you mean you're not going to deal with? Oh, hit the like button on this one. Thank you so much. Let me adjust a couple things. Men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in what? Oh, what are men not dealing with? Men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in what? What are we talking about today? You say, is this an indictment against all women? No, it's not an indictment against all women. And what I'm going to say now is in general terms. So don't nobody come in there, you talking about women and no. This is something that I think, what's going on? What's going on? Everybody here today, huh? Good afternoon. What's going on? Everybody in the chat room. Am I right? I can't. You see, you already gave the answer away, but you are right. But I gotta set the tone. So it's gay. So what men are not dealing with? See, I think what happens is I think a lot of people. And a lot of perception is that men just tolerate anything that is given to them. And what happens is we never set an order, or men many times don't verbalize what they feel and what they like and what they don't like. So once again, I'm going to point the finger back at the men. So they may not verbalize it many times because they may not be able to articulate it the way that it needs to be articulated. So I once again point to back it at the men. You got to be able to tell the woman There's certain things that you're not dealing with. And one of the things that a woman, and you gave the answer up already, which was good because you're right on it, because this has been listening. Men are not dealing with women who are not dipped. Let me say that in dipped. And she gave the answer away. Femininity. What happened is we have normalized everything else for a woman than for her to be feminine. We have normalized everything else but for a woman to be feminine and for a man to be masculine. We have normalized it for anything else for a woman to be feminine and for a man to be masculine. Actually, we have switched everything around. So we have normalized things that makes us attracted to each other. But men have gone very tiresome of women who are not dipped in femininity. Set the tone early for open communication. That's it. See, femininity or it's game, right? Game too. But so everything has become reverse. And what do I mean? That's good. That's good right there. So men are not dealing with, and I'm not talking about all men because there are men out there, because I know the argument come later. Well, I got a man and he do. I'm not talking about all men, but men on a general consensus are not dealing with the woman who is not dipped in what? Femininity. Who are not dipped in femininity. So what do I mean dipped in femininity? That she knows that her true power is in her femininity and not in her trying to be in her masculinity. She knows that her true power is not in her what? Is not in her being masculine, but being feminine. Her true strength, her true power is in, with salute, is her what? Being. What's going on, King? What's going on, Jonathan? What's going on, everybody in the chat room? So her true power is in her what? Ability to what? Be in her femininity. So what happens is we have women who have been shamed, talked about if they walk in their femininity. So they refuse to go to the river and dip 7 times so that they can walk in their complete what? Femininity. Well, I'm talking today. I'm on it today. So we have women who are afraid to embrace their femininity for shame, guilt. You don't want no man to take advantage of you. He gonna do this. And you're taught that being feminine is weak and being in your masculine as a woman is what? Strength. It is Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we do have a guest. I got to bring back Warren B. He's coming back too. But I'm here to tell you, when a woman has not been dipped in her fullness of her masculine and her femininity, she cheats herself, but she cheats the world of the greatest gift that she has, and that is her being a woman. She cheats herself. She cheats the world of the greatest gift that she has, is that being a woman and not in her masculinity. Men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in femininity. They're not dealing, they don't want to deal with that. They may tolerate it for a degree. And now what happens is while you're getting her true power right is where she is given to her easily. See, the true power is in the woman's femininity. She can come into a room and adjust the whole energy in the room because of her femininity. But it's been shamed, it's been talked about, it's been sexualized, objectified, and not really celebrated the way it needs to be celebrated. Let me say that again for those in the back of the stadium. Let me say that. I see you guys back there. It's been shamed. It's been talked about. It's been objectified. It's been sexualized, her femininity, and not praised for the power that it really is. Oh, I'm talking to you ladies today while I'm still dealing with the men, because this is still, remember, we told a game is just strategy. So let me get you down the road. So you've been shamed, talked about, sexualized your femininity, be objectified. So if you embrace it in any kind of way, you feel that you shouldn't do that. But it's more tolerable if you would embrace the masculine traits and not your feminine traits. And men are getting tired of it. They're saying, you know what? I don't want that. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. This might be too harsh on this, too is early. They want a woman. Let me tell you what the guys cannot verbalize sometimes. They want a woman who has embraced and who is okay with her femininity. See, we have thought femininity to be good question. We have thought that femininity is something that is weak. What are some feminine traits that men look for? Good question. You good question. What are some of the traits? So what happens is what a man looks for in some feminine traits is not the obvious of the outward adornment. It is who she is on the inside, how she carries herself on the inside, how she speaks to the man. She knows that her authority is in her femininity and not in her masculinity. She knows that her authority is in her femininity and not in her masculinity. There's certain things that a woman can say to a man that will make a man climb up a tree, get the coconuts off and bring it down and have fresh coconut milk for her. I'm just using that as an example. But there are certain things that a woman can say. Her tongue, her words are dipped in femininity. How she speaks to a man are some of the traits. How she carries herself. See, we have in the society, we have shamed those things and called those things as the woman is not a woman. She needs to be the same thing as a man. There's no difference. There is a difference. There is a scent. It is the way she wears a dress, or if she has on a pantsuit, that she expresses her femininity. And what happens is some mothers and some grandmothers have not passed down what it means to be feminine and what men look for when a woman is in her feminine embodied femininity. You say, man, what does this have to do with men? This has everything to do with men. Because innate in you, you begin to automatically feel something in you when you see her, when the woman is in her femininity and you, man, are in your masculinity. Because we have a lot of men who are in their femininity, but they even crossed over and turn into toxic femininity. Let me say that again, because y'all don't like this. I know I'm dropping a whole lot right now. We have a lot of men who cannot appreciate a woman's femininity because they are stuck in their femininity themselves, or they're in their what? They have turned toxic feminine themselves. Let me say that again. Right, it's complementary. Let me say this again. Some men cannot appreciate a woman's true feminine nature and the power of it because they are in their feminine themselves, and they look at it as threats, and also they are in what we would call toxic femininity, because we always talk about toxic masculinity, but nobody talks about toxic femininity inside of a man. And where did he learn that from? Toxic femininity inside of a man. See, what happens is when we are in our right zones, on our right place, when the woman is in her feminine power, her strength. See, we have equate strong with masculinity inside of a woman. Yeah, that's wow. Toxic feminine men. Yeah, toxic feminine men. Her, his father. Yep. So we have equated, and I gotta say this because I see women who struggle, who strive, and wondering why things are not working out for them because they're struggling with what their father told them or what their mother hurts, and they don't want to deal with the fact that they are not in their true feminine. And that does not mean that you need to be a pushover or that someone needs to take advantage of you. The power of a woman's femininity can shake a room. The power of a woman in her femininity is powerful. It's like the moon, hence, remember the example, that controls the waves. That what? Controls the waves. That's why it's called what? Mother Nature. There's probably got it from their masculine mothers. Very true. When a man is in his masculine energy, it allows a female to rest her femininity and express her feminine energy. That is it. So I'm gonna always point the mirror back to the men. Men, you have to. If you're not going to deal with a woman like that, then you must be able to begin to embrace your full masculinity without being ashamed. See, what happens is women are looking for a place where they can be secure and rest their femininity without feeling that it's going to be taken advantage of. What? She's looking for a place to rest her femininity, the full scope of it, so that she can allow it to flow. And the problem is why some women are sick, have different issues mentally. This stuff sounds easy, but people don't like to change. That's very true, Big Nephew TV. The reason why some women are sick, going through different health issues, is because they're in their masculine energy and not in their feminine. Let me say that again. The reason why some women are sick, not doing well, mental issues, things going on with them, is because they have been stuck or been taught to be in their what? Masculine and not in their feminine, because the feminine brings healing to a feminine soul. Just she can let go and let the man lead. Energy play. That's right. Exert your masculine, brothers, and hit that like button. You're right. I like that. So you see this, I know I'm going deep with this, but I want you to get this because it's about healing now. The reason why some women have issues mentally, in their soul, and things going on with them because they have not moved the energy of the femininity inside of them. So let me point it back to the brothers. The reason why you, man, are not having the results or getting the things in your life because you have not moved the masculine energy inside of you. You have not exerted your masculine energy. That doesn't mean like, yeah, I'm a man. No, you allow that power, that energy inside of you to move. And then when it comes into the space of a woman, there's going to be a what? A charge that takes place or a spark that takes place because you're in your masculine, man, and she's in her feminine. But I have to say this again. So what happens is the culture, the media, misinformation has created women to not embrace their femininity. They have embraced what? They have taught women not to embrace their femininity, but has also taught them what? That it's a shame to be feminine. I never met an overly happy masculine woman. You say you never met an overly happily masculine woman. They're never happy because the true energy inside of them is being compressed and suppressed inside of them because it's not being what? Suppressed. It's not being expressed. It's something when a man, listen to what I'm about to say, can allow the woman to allow the little girl in her to come out, to allow the what? The little girl that's inside of her, which is we can pretty picture that as the what? Her femininity, where she can laugh and she can express and she can dance and she can twirl around. She can express all the kaleidoscope of her emotions. See, what happens is women's emotions, because they're not in their what? Feminine, begins to get stuck in their body. I know I'm going deep. If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room. Let me know if this is making sense to you, understanding. Let me know, like, wow, this is making sense to me. I'm understanding. This is, if you don't understand, let that know. So should we as guys be patient with women who are actively working on their femininity, or exclude them from their reality until they get their issues addressed? Who moves the needle first, men or women? So I'm going to always tell the man, you have to make the choice. If you see a woman, let me answer that correct. Let me answer that. If you see a woman who is actively working to embrace her femininity, and you see her doing that, what you do as a man, as a masculine healer, leader, visionary, eagle eye, is you begin to blow or praise her, to encourage her in that way. Let me say that again. So if you see a woman who is actively asking questions, want to know, because she may not know, she needs to be healed in that area. As a man, you should begin to praise her. Baby, I like you when you wear that dress. Or you see her doing things that you know, because you said active, you should begin to praise her. What I mean by praise her, you begin to say, you begin to encourage her in that way. See, what happens is we're afraid to give, as Jana was talking yesterday, but you begin to praise her. What? And say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I like when you're doing that. You taking those Timbs off. Oh, I like you when you wear those stilettos. Oh, I like you when you wear that dress. You begin to praise what you want to see, that femininity in her. So who should make the first move? Now, if she does not want to face the reality of her issues, and she don't want to face the reality of the issue, you may need to take a step back. But if she's actively doing that, brothers, I'm speaking to you. Death and life is in the power of your tongue. You are the healers. But you got to know when to move. There, it goes back to our what? What we teach every day. Game is just strategy. So you got to know which strategy to employ in this situation. If she's actively moving in that direction, yes, you should say something to her. Let me go to the next thing. They don't know how to turn the masculine switch off because it's taken over by hurt and pain, childhood broken heart pains. That's true. A lot of women don't know how to take the masculine energy off because they use it as a coping mechanism to cover their hurt and pain of what may take place in a rape, may take place of abuse, may be taking place of a overly masculine mother or overly masculine father. So they don't know how to safeguard themselves. So yes, okay. How do I allow the masculine power to move in me? First thing you do to allow the masculine power to move in you is first know that it is there. See, we can't tell you to move it if you don't know that it's there. So what the next step you do is you embrace it every morning. I embrace first with the words. I embrace the masculine power that's in me and I allow it to show up in every way today. What? You allow it to show up every day. How do you move it in you? You allow it. Then you see men who are in true masculinity, You see men who are in their true masculinity, and you begin to watch how their energy moves inside of them. I think I went too deep today. I just should have been a Patreon, Jono. Because I'm saying men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in femininity, but I had to tell women to embrace their what? Femininity, because they've been shamed. They've been told that you shouldn't do that. You need to be strong. And they're strong in their masculinity, but they're not strong in their femininity. It's something, and when a woman is strong in her femininity, she can change atmospheres and she can change dimensions.
It's it's unfortunate that we live in a world where I have to say this. I hope I say it lightly, but the woman feels like they're in competition with men. So what happens is when you feel like you're in competition with something, you have to become them, and you don't actually have to do that. Women have a greater power than a man does, and the power of influence from a feminine side is even more powerful than when they try to use masculinity to compete with other masculinity. When you compete with masculinity, you're going to get a problem with the woman trying to do men tasks. And that's why I say I want to be careful how I say it, because I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You could use your femininity to get your point across better than trying to meet a man's masculinity. That's the right way I think I'm trying to say it,
I get exactly what you're saying. I'm gonna get right back to what you're saying. I think a man should make a woman aware that she should cultivate her femininity. Sometimes we don't realize we're masculine. It's okay. It's okay to reject us for that reason. It will help to let us know why. So, well, you're right, because what happens is when a woman has embraced her femininity, her masculine, and she comes at a man that's already masculine, you're getting into the cage with a lion that hasn't ate in 7 days. You will get ate up. Mm-hmm. And what happens is we have a lot of women who think they are lions and not lioness because they're embracing masculine with masculine and not knowing that they will lose. Only reason they don't lose is if they're dealing with a man who's been neutered, who became a eunuch spiritually on an energetic level and deals with a woman like that.
Yeah, I think that we have to really put a focus on why you want to, if we focus on the results when we start a conversation with somebody and we focus on what we want to achieve. And is the person I'm talking to able to comprehend what I'm talking about? That's where some of the elements in the intelligence needs to be used before an interaction begins. You see what I'm saying? If you don't use some of that intelligence to figure out who you're talking to, if this is even worth it, then how are you supposed to get the result you're looking for? And that to me is more like 40 laws of power, more so than deciding on femininity and masculinity. That should happen with any interaction, you know?
Right. Exactly. I don't see enough positive reinforcement online. That's where everyone is getting information or standards for beauty and behavior. This reckless and revealing the reckless and revealing are getting attention. I understand exactly what you mean. That's why we're saying something here today about women. What men are not dealing with is a woman not dipped in femininity. But I have to get women to understand that it's okay to be feminine.
Yeah.
It's
You're more powerful than you know. You're more powerful than you know being a woman. I get steered all the time. You know, sometimes I don't even know it. Sometimes I'm like this, and I'm like getting pointed in the direction just because of a certain level of the conversation, you know, and definitely I'm talking about my wife because she definitely has an influence on me, and she knows how I am. She knows my personality. She knows don't come up right in my face about something, but she knows how to put that side, you know, that little side, and all of a sudden, like, you did that, like, I don't, you know, it's like before you even, I know I'm talking like kind of like cryptic here, but it's like before I even knew that a change was made or something was going to happen, it was already done, and she knows how not to upset me, and it's not because I'm just an angry guy. No, I have a lot of responsibility, and she doesn't interfere with my level of responsibility. She finds a way to cleverly go around it to get what she needs done because, of course, she has the ability to get it done.
Where would a man begin to start his journey in becoming masculine when all he knows is being in his feminine? The first journey that you became in is by even asking that question and by listening to a show like this or listening to it's called a vlogcast, but listening to what we're talking about on YouTube. I've been pushing you into your masculinity every day. So this is one of the first steps.
You need to have, you need to make sure that the group you hang around is going in the direction you're thinking about. And if you agree with this information and you coming up with questions that make you curious about what you want to do, guess what? You're already going in the right direction. Now, if you think that you're watching, I'm not going to assume you are, but if you are watching other programs that may not vibe with the direction you feel like going into, then you need to stop, get them off your list. Don't let them come up in your subscriptions. Because if this resonates with you, then you know this is the right direction. Find more like-minded situations like this. You should have many mentors in your life, many mentors, not one.
Many for different places in your life. So that's why I want to say, well, that's what I want to get again. I want to emphasize the importance of women. It's okay for you to be strong in your femininity. I have to emphasize that because I see that you've been objectified. I see that some of you are seeing the horror stories of maybe being sexualized because of women being in their femininity. But if you embrace the true nature of femininity, woman, I'm talking to you because I know you're out there listening and going to come back later and say something. If you would embrace it and say, this is who I am. I'm going to let go of the coat of masculinity. I don't need to be try to compete with a man, but I need to be the woman that I am. It's a grace that a woman has when she's in her femininity.
Yeah. I mean, did you know that during the second term of Reagan's presidency, Nancy Reagan was running the White House? Did you know that? Reagan wasn't even in his right mind. She was able to steer President Reagan to look presidential and not lose his title and get impeached or taken out by, whatever chapter, I forgot what what the charter is to get a president out because of, unable to be fit to do their job. But she was able to keep the White House going, make decisions for him, make sure he was in place, and do the job that she had to do. And she didn't have to fight about it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't have to lose her femininity behind it. And I take that as one example. Another good example is Cleopatra. Cleopatra did not take over or help in the story that we all know from her. She didn't have to lose her femininity to become a leader. She used her influence to influence leaders. And that's how powerful women are.
I gotta get the gunshot. You can hear it. I can hear it.
You don't have to have the title. And that's why I tell people all the time, you don't have to have a title to be in charge. People will look at you at you have leadership coming out of your pores. And sometimes you don't have the energy to have the title, and you don't have the wherewithal to have the title because it's not your place. Your place is to run things. That's why the CEO is the face of the company, right? But who does all the work? The COO, right? That's the same thing. Even though you may have women thinking that they're chasing the leadership position, that's looking almost like masculine dominance, when they just need to stay in their role. They could do more work. They can get more done.
The civil rights movement. What's going on? Late checking in. What's going on, William? I had to go get some. I get you. The civil rights movement was pushed forward because of the women who pushed the agenda. Martin Luther King was the face of civil rights, but it was the women who pushed it forward. First-hand information from somebody that lived down the street from me who knew Martin. Mm-hmm. So the thing of it is, if we can get you to not compete. Ooh, wow. Okay. Something just came up. Something feminine came up. If we can get you, Reddick, if we can get you to not compete in your role in your femininity, and for the man not to realize that you are not competition, how much more can get done and we can push the right agenda forward? So that's why I say men are not dealing with women who are not dipped in femininity, but the man must first. You can't say you ain't dealing with a woman not dipped in femininity and you are in toxic femininity yourself. You are messing up the whole program.
It's true.
How can you? I want a woman. She gotta be feminine, and here you are in your feminine, or you not even embrace your masculinity. How dare you? How dare you, brothers? And I'm talking to you. Even say you want to deal with a woman like that when you have not fully set down in your full masculinity. I challenge you today. You must sit in your full masculinity before you say you won't even deal with it.
Actually, you want to hear something funny?
Mm-hmm.
A woman won't sit in her femininity until she knows she's with a man that has a level of masculinity that she can accept.
Oh my God.
By her own instinct, a woman feels like she has to take on both roles when she sees a man is lacking.
True savage.
Because she can handle both. She can handle both. Nobody's saying that she can't. But for you to sit in your real femininity, she got to be with a man who's acting like a man. And I don't mean taking control. I don't mean telling her what to do. No, playing your particular role, because she's not supposed to play both. And when she plays both, she's also be playing a third role, which is replacing you.
Rewind that back. What? If she's playing both roles, she's going to be looking for what?
Your replacement.
Your replacement.
And she's strong enough to do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys aren't smart enough to do that sometimes. Sometimes guys have to establish themselves as a player. That's how they play both roles. You see?
Mm-hmm.
But women, they take on the assignment of doing that when they have to adapt to it. And it's a whole different story. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's out of that adaptation that draws in your replacement. But with a guy, they're not trying to replace nothing. They're just trying to stack up and, marks on the board.
People don't get that. Salute to everyone in the chat room. I see you. See, the thing of it is, a woman is what? Waiting. What's up, bro? You say LA with the new okay. LEA, shout out to you. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Peace, True Savage. Peace. So women are waiting. Then who's waiting on who? Who's sleeping? Ooh, when your old lady. Let me think of blues song. When you not, it's an old. I forget how it go. Who's sleeping with your? I forgot the blues. That's a blues song. I don't want to. I wish I can play it because it's a perfect song right here. But the reality of it is, you need to be sitting. What I mean sitting means that you are resting in your masculine, so that she can now rest in her feminine, and so that you can really take over the world. Whose world? Your world.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be in the forefront sometimes. Not every woman is trying to be a go-getter or a conqueror. Sometimes she has more work to do. So she's leaving that part of leadership up to you. Okay? She's got to run the household that feels, and I'm not being old-fashioned. Please don't look at it like this. I'm just saying, for her happiness is in her house because she wants to make sure certain aspects of her life is covered. It's not just a physical house, okay? And she knows that you're not happy unless you have a healthy mindset to go out and conquer it as well. So she's got to feel like she's got to prepare you, and I'm the same way. I don't feel comfortable unless my household is comfortable, okay? And I don't. The first person I think about is my wife. I don't think about my kids first. I think about my wife first because I know she's got a handle on how all of us are seated. So I want to make sure she's good, which means there's a real partnership. It's not just, me doing whatever I want to do and she's supporting me and she's like, help me. Get out of here with that,
Right. How do we make a woman aware without being labeled offensive in the society where we're in? A slippery slope. And sometimes it's easier just to leave her in ignorance because it's not worth the time. Let me tell you something. To get to the how, be in your masculinity. You need to just let her know. Sometimes I think what happens is some men, we don't feel like we don't want to offend, but we do need to offend. We need to let it be known. It's all in how you say it. It's all in how you say it. And if she don't want to get with your program, we talked about this is game. There's always a what? Bus that's coming the next 15 minutes. Why waste your time? Why waste your time? So let me get to what Monica said. Yeah, that's the song. Who's making love to your old lady while you out making love? That's the song. Who's making love to your old lady while you out making love? That's the song, Monica. I love that blues song. I can't think of who made it, but yeah, that's definitely it. I recently cut off this woman that's been leading me on, and she got upset. Why did she get upset? Because game recognized what? Game. She even said that she liked me, but she wasn't really ready to date. Leave her alone.
Yeah. So what's the next thing? Why is she even wasting her time on you? Because she wants you to spend money on her. That's what it is.
Spend money, and she wants you to be.
She wants attention. She just wants attention.
Thank you. She wants your attention. She wants your what? Attention. I smell BS. So I told her I'm not waiting around to hope for something that I'll never get. I haven't talked to her since. Perfect move you could have did.
Good. It's way better to drive a car forward than to look backwards and drive it backwards. There's a reason why the rear mirror is smaller than the windshield.
Right. That's it, True Savage. She's upset because she couldn't game you.
Yeah.
She thought she had a mark. She thought she had a SIMP. I guess you can't say that no more on YouTube or anywhere else because people get offended.
Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know. Johnny Taylor, that is right. Johnny Taylor recorded that song. That is right. I feel old now.
I mean, in my line of work that I work in the evening, my evening position, I get approached all the time, and I got to shut things down all the time. And it's not because I'm not interested or anything like that. I have a certain, first of all, if you happen to be in the same place as me, that's definitely not going to work. You know what I'm saying? On top of the fact that I got my own personal situation at home, you shouldn't even be trying to, like it's like an impenetrable fortress. Okay, when you're at work, you know what I'm saying? You should be focused on doing your particular job. I have my job. You have your job. What are you doing? Second of all, if you know my home life, it's disrespectful. It's just disrespectful. Now, maybe you didn't know my home life. And that's the thing. You got to look at people. That's the reason why I'm leaving the door open. It's not that people cheat or whatever like that. Maybe they just don't know who you are. So I have to now communicate that to you in a way that doesn't offend you, because you may think I'm lying. I may come, you're married. Yeah, right. You're married. Like they'll come out and no, you have to literally have the essence of it coming out of you so you don't ever get approached like that the wrong way. And that's the thing. A lot of people have to put out the right persona to get the result they're looking for.
We've been saying it for weeks, man.
When you get run game, when people attempt to run game on you, you got to look in the mirror. I'm not saying you weren't good at catching the game, but you got to look in the mirror. What did you attract that person to you with? To allow that to happen, take some responsibility, because it's not a bad thing. You being detected makes you really good at detecting that, but it's still a waste of your time, and you don't want to have to go through that again. So look in the mirror and find out what attracted that woman type of personality to me at that time.
Because there in some level that some level she's only you. Shabbos, I had to cut ties with her before I got put on the infinite hook. You were about to be on the hook, buddy. You were on the hook already. Because you pulled her towards you. So let's get back to what we're saying so we don't get skirted off. Men are not dealing with women who are not have not embraced their full, who have not dipped themselves in femininity. So let's go and see Monica. Not all women will respond negatively. Is trying to run game. They just haven't learned better. Very true. They haven't learned better. So that's why it's so important. Let me say this. So y'all catch this, brothers, because I'm talking to you. A woman, I did a video a while back. I might need to pull it up. Women will look for you on some level to teach her something. What are you teaching her, or what are you showing her? If you can do that one piece of game, one piece of thing, you're 5 steps ahead of any guy that approached her, because she came and she learned something from you.
It's true. I mean, the age-old saying about value add. If the people in your life, not just relationships, the people in your life don't add to you, then they're taken away from you. So what you have to realize is that even though you may be in the dating scene, you may be in the hunting season or whatever, when it comes to, being within, your significant partner or whatever like that, they have to bring something to the table. If they don't bring something to the table, it's not worth the time or your energy. And that goes for both sides.
And I don't want to hear no one. I've seen these little memes, and I'm going to say something about it. I am the table, sister. You are not the table. If I see another,
when you say that, that means you think you finished, and that's the thing. Nobody's ever finished learning. Nobody's ever finished absorbing what life has to experience. You're not going to stop learning from life until the day you die. So if you are stuck in your own ways from now until the day you die, it's a wasted experience. Wasted.
Bye. That's exactly what happens. So that's what I'm saying, men. I'm pointing the mirror back to you first. Men are not dealing. Men who have embraced and set down in their masculinity are not dealing with women who have not first dipped or have not dipped 7 times. There's a reason why I'm saying that, in their femininity. And I want you really guys to get that. And a reason why I made this title like this for a reason. I remember looking for compliance, honesty, and the ability to be outgoing in a woman I'm attracted to. Wait. Let's look what he just said. I like doing sentence breakdown. I normally look for compliance, honesty, the ability to be outgoing in a woman I'm attracted to. So what he has did was he has clearly defined what he looks for in a woman, and he knows what attracts him. See, many times guys have, men and women have clouded views. They're not very clear on what they look for on the other person. They get upset because they turned down. But what was you really turned down? Because you don't even know what you want.
Yeah. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
If you lie to yourself, then how could you actually have an impression of what you're looking for when you go searching? Some people don't even have a mirror in their house. You know why? Because they can't trust themselves.
I can't hear it, but I know it went off.
Some people don't even trust themselves with a mirror in their house. And I'm not just talking about the one in your bathroom. I'm talking like a full body mirror to see, how do I present myself to the world when I walk out the door? The problem is your image, your self-image isn't right. So you don't even trust your external image.
Ooh, deep. See, there you go, Jono. Dun, 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 dun. Some of these women mindset are twisted and want to be worshipped. So if they want to be worshipped as gods,
they haven't earned it. You can have that. A woman can have that. Mm-hmm. A woman should never have to ask for it. That's the problem. You can worship a woman like a goddess and still get your point across. They want that, and because they have to act like they want it, it means they didn't earn it. And now they think they have to teach a man to do it. And then now the physiology is all off now.
All off. And you got to realize, if there is a goddess, there's always got to be a what? God.
If you're worth it, you never have to tell a man to do it. If you met the person that was for you, you never have to ask for it. You never have to feel you deserved it, because you be getting it. You be showered.
And this is the thing. If they have that mindset, I said this before. I don't deal with women who have that mindset. They just don't date. Huh?
I don't miss anniversaries. I don't miss birthdays. I don't miss Valentine's Day. I don't miss Christmas. I don't miss the milestones, not because I'm a good guy. It's because I have a certain connection to the person I'm with, and she deserves it. It's a big difference.
Compliance. Unpack the word compliance. It's funny because when we go to work,
I know what you mean. I know you're gonna give us a chance, but I know what you. I know, Monica, I know exactly what you're saying.
I know.
You're gonna give us a chance to answer, but I know what you're thinking.
Where do you come from? Where did you come from, Master?
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. I don't know if I'm master. I'm just honest.
Right. It ain't all about looks. I've turned 4s into 8s and 5s into 10s. Can she check off my 3 characteristics I require in a woman?
Now. It's stirring up now.
Turn it up. What the heck?
You know what I think we need to do? Let's let him give his definition of compliance.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Let's put that on the table first.
Yeah, please, my dog.
Elaborate on your definition of compliance, and then we'll give our take on it as well. Because I know what I feel about it, but I don't want to help you on what you think compliance is. What do you think compliance is?
Worship and a woman should never be in the same sentence for a man. A woman can be appreciated, but never worship. Anytime you worship something, it becomes what? Idolatry.
It's a graven image. It's against the law.
Yeah, it's against the law. Not to worship anything. Anyway,
There's a big difference between worship and celebrate.
there it is. There's a big difference between worship and celebrate. But anytime you bow down and worship, you have automatically went into idolatry. Why we always got to talk about that book? I don't know why. Compliance is not a dictionary. Oh, you don't know me, sir. Oh, no. Here we go, boy. Here we go. True Cyrus, please give it a
I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
I knew this was going to happen. We're stirring the pot now. I'm going to go get my ladle.
Right. She has to know her place and has to be catered to and equally as much as she's catered to me. Okay. All right. Everybody giving that definition. True Savage, we waiting on you, brother. Oh boy. I don't even want worship. Compliance is supreme to that. Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna look up the actual definition of compliance. That way we all know what it is first, not in the terms of relationship, just the word compliance. Okay. I want to help everybody.
Ooh, that's good. That's good right there, Sigma. Treat her like a celebrity, and she'll treat you like a fan.
Yo, that's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, Monica, you're right on that. Yeah. Treat her like a celebrity, and she'll treat you like a fan. That's why you should never marry the fan. Remember that's from certain individual, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Never marry the fan.
Now remember, the word compliance, like you said, you broke down the sentence, right? The word compliance actually is the afterthought of what complying is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the definition of compliance is the action of complying with a command. So what was the command? And this is why I know it sparked up Monica, because we got to understand our language. If it's in your head, then you got to get it out. So what is the command that she's complying to? I'm gonna ask, that's our next question.
I define compliance in a woman as following. I ask you to do something, command.
Okay, the command, there it is. Okay.
And she does it without hesitation, and it gets done. LDA, she complied, didn't she? Stop it. Stop it. Y'all picking. He said, what? I define, let me say to my upbeat voice, my Fifth Avenue. I define compliance in a woman as follows. I ask her to do something, and she does it without hesitation and gets it done. Quite interesting.
Now listen, I'll tell you something about this particular thing. I am not judging it right or wrong yet. What I'm going to tell you about compliance is the source qualified to give out the command? If you haven't been deemed qualified, you won't get that response. But if you do, she qualifies you, and it won't ever have to be questioned. You may not even have to ask the question in the first place.
Let me break that down again. Get my crayons for that one. You, in yourself first, have to be qualified to speak to her, right? And she sees value for you to give that command and for her to take a verb action to do it.
I'm gonna give you a simple example. I'm gonna talk about dinner, okay? Dinner in my household, I have never asked for a plate of food. But I always get one. Is it because I commanded her to do it? No. She looks at the entire situation, and I looked at I have children in the house. She doesn't make their plate. She makes mine. But I've never asked her to make me a plate. I've never got an attitude that, hey, you make my plate yet? I've never been that kind of person. Like you don't. It's like that's crazy to think that part. If you're entitled to it, it already is yours, and you don't have to ask for it. So the compliance is not really in the command itself, but in the gesture and your connection with the person.
Dude, man, this y'all somebody need a super chat, Cash App, something, Mama app, J-Lo, somebody need to do something that just on that right there.
Now it might be like old fashioned, but guess what? There's a point where I cook, right? It's a little old fashioned when I go outside in the barbecue, right? If I barbecue, do you know at that point I make her plate first?
No, don't say no more, man. You said enough, man.
And I'm not bewildered. I'm not taking away my masculinity doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But it may be, one month out of the year we barbecue, but the other 12 months she's taking care of me.
Let me get Evo Rebirth. So her compliance level depends on how high your social status, social ranking, or your no, not at all. No. It's not based on that. It's
not a social ranking. It's the level you have with each other. You guys gotta be on the same page. If you guys are not on the same page, how can you relate to each other?
That's what it is. True Savage, you are introvert, extrovert in regards to wanting to another. Okay. See y'all. It's just the end of we 33 minutes afterwards. She understands that serving you is in her best interest, and it's natural, and it's an act of service, not contrived.
Yeah. I've never asked her to wash my clothes. I've never said, baby, go wash the clothes. I never said it.
If she doesn't have compliance, she doesn't respect you. She don't respect you.
Well, I mean, that's respect is definitely the inevitability. I will say if she doesn't have compliance, she doesn't connect with you.
Right. Why should she listen to you anyway? See, this the end of it. Y'all, I appreciate your definition of the word for me. Black men and black women need to do more of this. Monica, you already know. You my homegirl from back in the day. This is my old co-host from back when the LDA, what was it? A Mr. L radio show. So you already know. Thank you so much. Blessings. Thank you. See, thank you. There you go. Let me give you a couple gunshots for that. Blessings. It's funny. We talk all the deep stuff and we got a gunshot to come up. Blessings and blessings.
And I know the difference between adulthood and children because I got to chase my kids all the time asking them to do stuff.
Right.
I have to chase them to do stuff. Even stuff that they're paid to do.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to my wife, there's some unspoken rules. And that's not even a rule. I don't want to say that. Unspoken commonalities between the two of us. We just do. This is what we just do. I know to open the door for her. I know to make sure that she's not wanting for anything. You know what I'm saying? That's my job. I don't ask for extra credit for doing it either. But on the other end, I let her stay in her femininity, and I don't question anything she does. I gotta constantly be appreciative of everything she does for me. It's a give and take, and I don't know if it's perfection. Of course, it's not perfection, but I do know that it's what I feel is right, and that's why it works for us.
So I'm going to say this on and we would go to the dark side, LDA after dark. Because I know about the end, I can do this. I can go, we would go after dark, LD after dark. And for those who understand LD after dark, you know what I'm talking about. Secretly, women look for a man that she can be compliant to.
Yeah. You know why?
Go ahead.
You want to keep it completely after dark?
Keep it after dark. Let's go.
I don't think, I'll make sure the right people in this room right now. I don't think that I would be getting what I get because I'm much appreciative for it if I wasn't a finisher. I know it's my job to be a finisher.
He said Darth LDA.
if I wasn't a finisher, I don't think I'd be getting those plates. I don't think I'd be getting the clothes washed.
A leader is first the greatest student. So yes, I am an extrovert. Okay. Woo. Let me get. We gonna come on. We got to end, man. When a woman feels safe and when we feel valued, when we feel respected, loved, we comply. We submit. That's because we know we won't be taken advantage of, mistreated, or played. But back to the dark side. There is an element in the woman who longs for the compliance to comply under a man who's a finisher and who dominates her on multiple levels.
When a man knows the woman and knows everything.
Doc, where's Governor? Doc. So many times you don't have that energy of a finisher or that of one that is dominant. You say, oh, they're going to fire in the dark. See, there you go. There you go. See, we trying to stop. We trying to be good.
So we didn't say any of the words, but you kind of get in our gist here.
You're going to have to do a stream on being a finisher. Yo, man, you my dog, man. You my dog. You my dog. Woo! Because we're saying it in such a cryptic way. Because I'm on Facebook and on YouTube. I definitely, Patreon may have to come up next month. I'm sorry. Patreon, because we could talk Patreon, we can talk candidly. So Patreon gonna come up next month. Y'all ready for if y'all want to get Patreon, this the number. Whisper in her ear, sir. Ooh. Monica. Trouble. Sit yourself down. Don't you move. Okay, Daddy. Ooh, so yeah, y'all gotta have it. Yeah. Facts, LDA. I'm telling you, yeah. I'm telling you. See, so I think Patreon next month,
and that's one of the reasons why I celebrate even the longevity in some relationships. Because imagine you go to the same racetrack for time and time again. Eventually, you're gonna learn all the curves, all the straightaways, and.
That's my sister called. I hope she ain't listening.
You're gonna get used to that track, and you're gonna be able to run that track. You're gonna be able to you're gonna be able to cross the finish line the most efficient way possible
and fast. Well, this is Lawrence D. Adams and John O. We have graduated into LD After Dark. We're gonna have this going to be if y'all want stuff like that and to teach a little further than what we talk about here on YouTube and on Facebook, you're gonna have to join the Patreon where we can take all the edits out. If you want that, let me know in the chat room, and the Patreon will be coming up. Let's get a number for today. I see 23. Well, John, what number you got today?
I feel number 5.
5 again. 5 it is. 5 is the number. Put 5 in the chat room. Let me know that you're connecting with this, what we're talking about. There we go. When does Patreon? Next month, we're going to start Patreon. So y'all need to see. I want some. Then we can pretty much reveal some things, because I can't reveal it on here.
You be revealing it and then mess up the whole chat room. Yeah,
the whole chat room will be messed up. Or I might.
What's going on?
Right. I can see his governor. And then some things, cannot go on Patreon. I had to go on OnlyFans. I still got the OnlyFans set up, but I got to put it together. So 5 is the number. Some things are OnlyFans information.
Yep. Like how to finish.
Well.
Or how to beat it, or how to beat her to, how to make her beat you to the finish.
That's even better. How to make her beat you to the finish line. She may get several ribbons for that one.
Where the gratitude comes so much. Wow. I mean, like, you males want to hear about appreciation. Make her get to the finish line first. There'll be some appreciating going on right there.
Boom. 5 is the number. Yep. You got it, man. See, y'all didn't activate it LDA after dark. We're gonna have to bring that on Patreon or bring it on to OnlyFans. This one you're gonna really get. See, I couldn't say it now. Only implications right now. So
see, that's what they were talking about in this R&B song. Put that woman first.
So if you enjoyed today's, leave a comment after the video. Let me know you enjoyed it. On Facebook, do the same thing. This is Lawrence D. Adams, and we are about to be out because we have definitely went to the dark side. We call it North LDA. Y'all not ready for that. We
are like Star Wars Order 69.
Right. Y'all not ready for it.